and welcome here to TalkFCB, and welcome back to the channel here today, guys, where we're all feeling very, very good after a big win for Barca against Borussia Dortmund in the Champions League. And coming up today, we've got lots to talk about from that performance there, including the brilliance of Lamine Yamal and, of course, the match winner. In the end, it was Ferran Torres. We've got to talk more about him, and I think the squad as a whole needs talking about right now, the dynamics of the squad, and we've also got discussion too on Frenkie de Jong. All of that is on the way here for you today. So let's do it. But I would like to begin, guys, by saying this video is coming to you today courtesy of SofaScore, where you can find things like this. This man right here has scored 4 goals in his last 3 games. You can see a full breakdown of all of that good stuff, every stat that you could think of. But aside from that, again, you can check out the latest Champions League standings, and Barca are in a phenomenal position there, only behind Liverpool in the standings. Absolutely fantastic. But to find so many of the other so-called big teams in this competition, you've got to scroll down for an eternity. You know, team after team after team after team. Where are they? Where are they? What are they actually doing in this competition? And I don't even know if I have time to scroll this far, but you guys can. You can download the SofaScore app for free. Only takes a few seconds, and if you do it there by following the link in the description to this video, that is a massive, massive help to the channel, guys. So thank you very much there for that great support. But if we do indeed continue on with these celebrations here, and I think it's important to understand that we can be very, very happy with this game, with this win, with this performance again in the Champions League, because Barca, they needed this, of course. We have been wobbling a bit in La Liga, we have been showing some signs there of inconsistency, and ultimately a bit of tiredness, and I thought it was really important last night for us to basically show we can still play. You know, we can still perform when it really matters there against the best teams. Going away to Dortmund, that is such a hard game. They hadn't lost in that stadium all season long so far. Barca go there and they inflict their first defeat of the season on them at home. That is impressive. That is a real statement win there in the Champions League, and that backs up what we did against their German counterparts. That was at home, that was against Bayern, that was a different kind of game, but we have now shown in multiple Champions League matches, big nights, that we can perform, and we can mix it with the very, very best. Dortmund, of course, don't forget as well, Champions League finalists from last season there. So this is a win that we can certainly feel happy about and that we should indeed celebrate. However, guys, to fully understand this win, I think the first port of call, it has to be talking about Lamine Yamal, because he was named, of course, the player of the match last night, and that was very much deserved on his part. He assisted Ferran Torres' winner. The timing on that pass, as we said in the review, it was perfection. It was timed to perfection there. The way that Dortmund's defence, they were trying to spring the offside trap. They were trying there to step up. Yamal saw it all. You know, he sees the picture in his head. He may be young. He may be technically inexperienced at this level, but he is seeing everything so, so clearly. And of course, he was a big part as well in the second goal. Really good combination there on the right-hand side with Jules Koundé. He also should have had yet another extraordinary outside-the-foot assist in the first half if Rafinha could have put it away. And again, I'll just say it, I say it all the time with Yamal, this is not normal. It is not normal for a player of his age in a tournament like this, on a night like that, in an atmosphere like that, to be doing this. This is not normal stuff, and no matter how easy he makes it look, no matter how natural it comes to him, we should still appreciate how unbelievable this is. And look, I know that this season, for example, Rafinha scored so many big goals. I know that especially off the ball as well, he works incredibly hard. Lewandowski has contributed a lot in terms of goals too, but in my opinion here, and we saw it when Yamal was out injured, we look to Lamine. It is as simple as that. In this Barcelona team, he's 17 years old, and yet he is the leader already. Whenever we get the ball, we're thinking, okay, where is he? Can I pick him out? Can I open up the defence there? Can Lamine find a way through? It is always about him. It's always about his movement. It's always about the positions that he's taking up and the pockets that he can find. And that is absolutely incredible. And he always seems to make the right decision on the ball in terms of that pass, in terms of playing that final ball. And I think that's actually why, by the way, at the start of the second half, Rafinha couldn't believe it. He was so angry, he was so frustrated when Yamal didn't pick him out, because quite honestly, he's used to getting those passes. He has probably never seen Yamal make the wrong call, make the wrong decision at the wrong time. So that was something that we barely ever seen, and that is extraordinary too. And let me just say, guys, in my opinion, once Lamine Yamal adds goals and more and more goals to his game, which in my opinion he will. It is only a matter of time there. He is rounding his game. He's got all the quality, all the technical ability to score. Once he does that, he will be untouchable. Because right now, in my opinion, looking at this season, he has been one of the best players in the world, and he has been. His influence on this team, he is right up there with the very, very best. But like I say, if he adds goals, it's game over. For everybody else, it is game over. He will simply be on a different level entirely, and in my opinion, that will come. Which brings me on then to a man who did score last night, and a man who is finding the back of the net, you've got to say, pretty regularly in these past few games. We have to talk about Ferran Torres. Now, can we just say immediately, we're all giving him credit here. You know, he's a player that Barcelona fans have been pretty frustrated with, and I think, to be fair, it has been justified. You know, we pay big money for Ferran Torres. A lot of the time there, he flatters to deceive. There's a lot more in there. We know there's more talent available. We saw that when we signed him, and we've seen flashes of it, but we've all been really frustrated with the lack of consistency, and particularly in front of goal. And I think that's why yesterday's game was actually so impressive and actually really shocked us all, because he was incredibly clinical. And that is what he's capable of, but we haven't seen it all that much during his time at Barca there in terms of getting chances in front of goal. He makes good runs, he's intelligent off the ball, but when he's in that position, you've got to finish it off. And yesterday, he did it, and he did it so well. And we were all happy with him. You know, he may have had criticism, he may have certainly had many Barcelona fans on his back, and it may happen again, but I think right now many of us are all saying, credit to you. You know, fair play, hats off, you did very well, and it was a big moment and a big performance last night coming off the bench. And that's my next port of call, because is he actually a very effective player coming on in a game? Because I think we've seen a few times when Ferran Torres starts games, it doesn't always click for him. I think he's much more suited to a really open game. I think a game like last night is absolutely perfect for him there, whereby it's very much end-to-end, it's really open there. Dortmund were leaving a few spaces at the back. Dortmund there were committing more and more players forward at times. Ferran loves that there. He can get in behind, he can really work those runs, he is intelligent, like I say, he's got a good football IQ, so those moments really suit him as that kind of impact sub coming off the bench. And Flick said it himself after the game that Ferran, he can change a game. You know, he can come on and he can change things, going from defence to attack very quickly. He's a fast player. He can be really useful for us. And he scored recently and he took his second goal very well. Flick said, I'm really happy with him. His attitude, his positive mentality, he really helps this team. And we've seen right throughout his time at the club, Flick does have real faith in Ferran. Fair play to him there. He has stuck with him. He has given him chance after chance after chance. And last night, he was very much rewarded for that. And I'm interested to see if this continues here. Ferran coming on, Ferran being able to make an impact. And even he said last night as well that he's enjoying the way that Hansi Flick is utilising him there, the way that he's playing him, the kind of role that he has right now. And it's actually quite good that he's almost accepting at times this kind of role. He's quite enjoying being the man coming on, giving the impact. And that is really important there, to have players in your squad who are willing to contribute if and when they are needed. And I just want to take here a look, guys, at our squad as a whole. Looking at the way the game changed yesterday after the subs came on, Ferran, Fermin both had impacts in the game, and you look at the attacking side of our team, as substitutes there for Robert Lewandowski, you've got Ferran Torres, obviously, really good goal scoring form right now. You've also got Pau Victor, who we've also seen make an impact, and we also know can really add quality to that attacking line. And then you've got Fermin, who's also very good when the game opens up, and he is very impressive in that central kind of area. Now, in my opinion, all you need then is a top quality winger. You need somebody there who is a natural wide player to replace Lamine, to replace Rafinha at times. There's somebody who is really comfortable as a natural winger. If you added a winger, I think we're really looking good in these attacking areas there. We've actually got a lot of good depth. We've got a lot of quality. You've got players there you can bring on and make impact in games. The attacking side of that team it's actually not looking bad at all once you get that natural winger. I think maybe it's deeper in midfield though, where some of the issues start to come, particularly defensively. Like I say, if you take Casado out of the team, you lose an incredible amount there, and I don't really think we've got a natural replacement for him defensively in that midfield area. That's where we need some cover. Of course, at fullback, we are really lacking in depth there, but the centre-backs, of course, they're returning now. Araujo is back in the squad. Christensen shouldn't be too far behind him. So in terms of the squad as a whole right now, we've been talking about depth. We've been talking about certain areas that we need to plug and we need to fill, but we're not a million miles away. You know, you look at a game like last night, there are players who are capable of contributing in the right situations, in the right game situations. They can certainly come on and have that impact. And I think we're sort of 2 or 3 really particular signings there. Quality players, specialists coming in their positions. You could really transform the very beating heart of this squad and actually take us to another level. And like I say, I don't think we're a million miles away. However, guys, that's when we move on to talk here about Frenkie de Jong. And this, again, is a situation that needs talking about because he should be in midfield a real asset to us. He should be a player that, yeah, if Casado can't play, if Pedri can't play, we should be able to bring in Frenkie de Jong and he should be able to transform that midfield on his own there. With his skill set, with his characteristics and his experience, he should be able to contribute more. But he isn't doing. You know, again yesterday he came on, he takes the captain's armband from Rafinha, and one, you don't get the same leadership. You know, it's very, very simple there. When de Jong takes the armband, things are simply not the same in terms of those dynamics. And 2, the performance is lacking. Again, there's a lack of urgency in the play. And all you've got to do is listen to Hansi Flick after the game yesterday, where he literally said every player who enters the field must be 100% ready. And he said, I'm really happy that Fermin and Ferran showed that today with their impact. He didn't mention Frenkie. He did not bring him into that conversation there, thinking about impacts from the bench, Fermin, Ferran, the players that came on. No mention of de Jong. And I think that's really, really telling, because before this game, we heard in the media that de Jong could start, that Flick apparently was seriously considering starting Frenkie de Jong in this game, and for me, that would have been staggering, because against Betis when he came on, again, there's no indication that should be the case. There is absolutely nothing in his game right now that suggests, oh, he's ready to start in this kind of game, in a game of this stature. But the thing about Hansi Flick is, you listen to him in general in press conferences about Frenkie de Jong, he is very, very complimentary of him. You know, he often gives Frenkie real praise in press conferences there, and we hear in the media that Flick does really like him, that he likes the profile, that he likes the way that he could fit into his system, and as a player, he really rates de Jong. And I just think here at times, maybe even Flick is getting a bit irritated. He is getting more frustrated here, not with Frenkie, the player, not with actually who he is, the kind of player that he is, but with what he is seeing. I think he does rate Frenkie. I think he would like to see him as part of his midfield. He would like to be able to use him more frequently and in bigger games, but the reality is right now, he just can't. With what we are seeing, with what he is contributing as it stands, it is nowhere near enough. And Flick wants more, we all want more, because we know what we have. You know, we know the potential. We've spoken endlessly about the quality that he possesses. But as of right now, game after game after game, you want to see it, but it's not quite there. So indeed, guys, I'm really interested to know here today, you know, off the back of this Dortmund game, off the back of this result, the performance that we saw in a really difficult stadium, what do you think about where the squad is right now? Looking at the options that we have, the players who made a real impact yesterday, the performance of Ferran, the genius of Yamal, and indeed here looking at players like Frenkie, where do you feel that we are right now in terms of the Champions League, in terms of contending for that competition, in terms of La Liga too? What are your overall thoughts and your takeaways here from this game against Dortmund and looking further into the season? Let me know all of your thoughts down below. I'm really interested to know all of your opinions today, guys. Thank you indeed for watching and also for downloading SofaScore. That is a big help to me. I will catch all of you soon with plenty more good stuff on the way. But until next time, as always, Vizca, El Barça.